Thanks for checking out this haul video. So here I go. I'm going to go over part of the things that I picked up during the Labor Day sale that Vinegar Syndrome was having in September. So this video is specifically just for their September specific releases. And then I'm going to release another video after this that will be all the things I got during the sale that weren't released in September, including the out-of-print titles that I was able to grab that I was interested in that they were putting up each day. So this one specifically just for the new stuff they released for September. And again, I'm going to go in order of what I'm least excited about first and then most excited about last and kind of show you these. I will say that I did purchase from the Melusine site. This is their new Command video release, Star Angel. This one I'm not going to, go into depth on because I don't want to show any nudity or anything. But I will be doing short reviews through my channel on the adult titles, but that's behind a paywall. That's just for the highest membership level people for my channel, which there is a link in the description if you want to check out the 3 levels of membership and the perks you can get for that and all that. And while I'm saying that, hit the notification bell button, thumbs up on the video, subscribe, all that stuff to support me. I appreciate that. But anyway, yeah, Star Angel. It looked interesting to me, so I will be checking that out. Okay, so now to the actual Vinegar Syndrome stuff. The first one was a VSA release that caught a lot of people by surprise. And this was 1 through 6 of Vice Academy. Now, 1 through 3 had been released by them many years ago, and it's been out of print. And so that was going on, eBay for a lot. I think it was something... What's my cat doing? She's weird. Something like over $200 for the 1 through 3 series. So people who are looking to sell those are probably pretty upset at this point because 1 through 6 came out and it was not over $200 or not even close. It wasn't even over 100. So I had heard that 1 through 3 weren't that great of movies anyway. So I was kind of like, I don't even know if I want this. But then I looked and I'm a subscriber. Subscriber price was like $34. And I'm like, $34 for 6 movies. And I'm kind of interested in knowing what they're like. And if I don't like them, I can just get rid of it and probably get my money back, maybe more. Especially if it ends up selling out and, I can get rid of it for more money because people still want it. I don't know. But yeah, so Vice Academy 1 through 6, that's what that looks like. That's what that looks like. On the inside, I just changed it to that. And then it's got a poster that it comes with in 3 discs. So there you go. So let's read about it. Today, the sagas from the hallowed halls of the esteemed Vice Academy are legendary. From the early years of trapping porn producers to the villain who escaped from a CD-ROM to wreak havoc over the city, the expert hands of Vice Academy cops Holly, Tracy, Candy, and Dee Dee always manage to solve crimes and look dazzling while doing so. Capturing devious villains such as Malathian, Queen Bee, Spanish Fly, and Heidi Ho was never easy, but under the watchful eyes and expert tutelage of Miss Devonshire and the Commissioner, the Vice Academy team always managed to pull it off. Yeah, okay. It looks like for 6 movies, it doesn't look like there's a ton as far as special features go, but there's some special features, so, Plus, it's 6 movies for what I got, $34. Can't complain. So, yeah, Voice Academy 1 through 6. Then the next one I got was a VSL release. I haven't purchased a lot of their VSL movies because they just haven't appealed to me much. But this one looked interesting from the trailer. The Strange Affair. Kind of... That's a nipple. Wait, that's a nipple, but it's a guy's nipple. Okay, that's fine. Michael York is in this one. I do like his performances. The trailer looks super interesting. That's the inside of it. Some people, kind of nude together, but there's no nudity showing. And then the inside. All right. There's nothing more despicable than a bent policeman. In a less than swinging area of London, the grizzled detective Sergeant Pierce is obsessed with taking down a local kingpin, Keents, who is an expert at evading arrest as he was once a policeman himself. Meanwhile, PC Strange is a new beat cop, fresh and idealistic about serving the public good, who meets a hippie girl named Frederica while quieting a street scuffle. Frederica takes an interest in Strange, who is quickly learning the harder realities of police life. When Strange gets trapped in a budding scandal, it's Pierce who convinces Strange he can save him, but only if Strange helps bend the law to entrap Kintz. It sounds like, like a crime thriller type, and that's what it looked like. So I'm keen to check it out. Let me see as far as like special features go. There are a few special features on here. Yeah, interested in that one. Yeah, Michael York. No other like big names in it, but I'm interested. The Strange Affair. All right, the next one is a 3-film release, and these are Italian films, not giallo, though, from what it appears and what has been said, and that is Bloodstained Italy. This is Death Falls Lightly, Obscene Desire, and The Bloodstained Lawn. Love this artwork. Looks great. Artwork on the back also looking great. I love that skull in particular. And then on the inside, some more different artwork, which looks very nice. I'm digging it. I'm digging what they're doing with this. And then on the inside, more artwork of, well, let me see your face. Oh, yep, and the boobs are covered, so it's all good. Okay, so let's read about these films. Obscene Desire. In director Giulio Petroni's Obscene Desire, a young American woman, Amanda, moves to a large and creepy countryside villa with her newlywed Italian husband. Soon enough, strange and seemingly supernatural events begin to befall the property as a black-gloved killer simultaneously picks up and murders prostitutes. What do these otherworldly occurrences and the vicious killings have in common, and what sinister plans have been hatched for Amanda? A truly genre-defying shocker combining elements of giallo, satanic horror, and very raunchy sexploitation, Petroni's film is one of the most head-scratching Italian horror films of the late 1970s. Okay, that sounds very interesting to me. It sounds like maybe that one is the selling point with this, but we'll see afterwards. Oh, and this is a good time for me to say that all of the monthly releases, for people who don't know, I will be doing a video later on, a few weeks down the road, of a ranking and review of all of those releases, so look for that to come. All right, now The Bloodstained Lawn. Director Riccardo Gioni's The Bloodstained Lawn. A group of hippie drifters find their way to the luxury and ultra-modern country home of Dr. Antonio and his wife, Nina Genovese. While the seemingly charming couples offer to let the aimless youngsters hang out at their property, appears initially motivated by the couple's fascination with the lifestyles of the free love generation. When members of the group begin vanishing, it becomes clear that something much more sinister and deadly is afoot. Taking a cue from jet-set thrillers of the late 1960s, this horror rarity evolves into a high-concept science fiction nightmare. Very interesting. Also, I hate some of the copy that they write on this, Vinegar Syndrome, because they have a lot of run-on sentences, which just don't sound great. But anyway, and then the last one is Death Falls Lightly. Director Leopoldo Savona's Death Falls Lightly. A wealthy businessman, Giorgio Dorica's wife, is murdered by an unknown assailant. It's one of those nights. Fearing that he will be fingered as the prime suspect due to their failing marriage and his well-known philandering, his advisors suggest that he go into hiding at a shuttered hotel until the police can investigate more thoroughly. Taking along his mistress, Giorgio assumes he'll be in for a secret romantic getaway, but is soon besieged by supernatural visions which seem to be drawing him into the hotel's own dark and murderous past, threatening to drive him mad. Strangely similar to, but predating The Shining. That's an interesting drop. This wholly unpredictable thriller is further complemented by a throbbing prog rock score. Interesting. Yeah, all those sound interesting to me, so I'm very intrigued to go through this Bloodstained Italy. Didn't we have another Bloodstained set, I thought? I'm looking at my movies over there. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, excited for that one. Okay, so this is my number 2 of what I'm most excited for. The Of Monsters and Madness, the films of Larry Fessenden, Volume 2, because Volume 1 was done very well. That was Habit and No Telling. This one I think could be even better because I've heard Wendigo is in this, and I've heard that Wendigo is potentially Fessenden's best film, and The Last Winter, which I've heard is also good. I have not seen either of these films, so I'm even more excited with the Volume 1. I had already seen Habit, so love the fact that I haven't seen either of these. Loving this artwork. This artwork is great, as was the case with the other one. There's an essay booklet, and the essays were very good for Volume 1, so I'm very excited for this. Look at this artwork for Wendigo. Love that. That is phenomenal. And then there's more on the back. These are looking so good. These are 4Ks, obviously. I changed it to that one. The discs. All right. George, his wife Kim, and their son Miles leave their home in Manhattan for a winter respite in upstate New York, looking for some much-needed rest and relaxation. On their drive north, the family is involved in a sudden accident when George hits a deer that runs across an icy road, setting the stage for a snowbound supernatural showdown between them and the titular Wendigo, a grotesque legendary beast from Native American folklore. Yes, very excited to see that because Wendigo is not covered enough in horror films. Okay, the next one is The Last Winter. Again, some great looking artwork there. Yes, that looks like it is Ron Perlman. I'm pretty sure it is. Some more good. What are you doing over there, Josie? Chill out, dude. She might show up on the video. Sometimes she'll come over here. We'll see. Discs. At the remote Alaskan base of an oil company, hard-headed base leader Ed Pollock faces off with eco-scientist James Hoffman, who has raised concerns about the environmental impact of the drilling in the area due to the abnormally warm temperatures in the region. When one of Pollock's crew is found dead on the ice and members of his team start experiencing hallucinations, Hoffman turns to a scientific explanation despite signs pointing towards something more supernatural at play. Sounds very interesting. And like I said, I've heard both of these are pretty good. So, very excited. And legit, I think this could be even better than Volume 1. Fingers crossed. And then the one I'm most excited about is one that actually, I don't know if it's sold out, but I know it was selling very fast. And so people had commented about that online. And that is The Resurrected. This one looks wild. It looks like a lot of fun. And yes, Chris Sarandon is in it. So that's a big selling point for me. Love his work. This is a 4K. That's the original artwork, which looks really not good. So I'm glad they updated it. Yeah. Anyway. Private investigator John March is handed the most unusual case of his career when the beautiful Claire Ward turns up at his office asking for help. Her husband, the esteemed chemical engineer Charles Dexter Ward, has started dabbling in strange and secretive experiments and has recently moved out of the marital home and into a remote and disused ancestral farmhouse to continue his activities in privacy. That actually sounds a lot like Fessenden's No Telling, honestly. As these experiments take an even more sinister turn with reports of body parts being delivered to the property, Charles himself begins displaying increasingly erratic behavior, apparently taking on the personality of someone from centuries ago. With Charles eventually committed to a psychiatric facility for evaluation, leaving John and Claire free to investigate the property, the nightmare has only just begun. That sounds great. It says it takes a cue from Stuart Gordon's H.P. Lovecraft-inspired Reanimator. And the director is Dan O'Bannon, so, he's done Return of the Living Dead, and, yeah. Some other good stuff. The Resurrected, one I'm most excited for. Anyway, that was it for the September releases for them, but again, like I said, I will be putting on another video in a few days that will have everything I picked up for their official Labor Day sale, so you can look forward to that, and it's a decent amount. So anyway, go ahead and tell me what you've picked up recently. Doesn't have to be Vinegar Syndrome, doesn't have to be horror, it's just whatever you are excited about, and we can chat about that in the comments. Like, subscribe, notification bell button, membership if you want to, link in the description, all that jazz. But thank you for taking your time to watch, and until next time, keep it brutal.